G'day guys. Um, Testing. Hopefully this is working. Should be working. Sorry if my voice is a bit gone. I was at the footy last night and I was yelling a fair bit. So me voice is a bit gone. But yeah, welcome to the show. Don't think we'll be having Ty today. I think he's moving, so don't think he'll be joining. Um, how'd yesterday go? I don't really give out official stuff on the show. I just go through the stuff I like before the games. I did pin up um, Harden under 26.5 points. He finished, I think, with 25 or 26 or something like that. It's pretty efficient as well. I think it was like 50% from deep, 60% from the floor, something along those lines. So that one won. Uh, what else we talked about? We both like top and stuff. We talked about some Obi top and stuff. That one, uh, pretty. We would have talked about something that lost, but yeah, the main one's won. JT Collector, what's up, mate? How are you? So yeah, we got a game start in 15 minutes, so I'll share my screen with you, and I'll go through what I like in this game. Let me share this. Present, share screen. There we go. Awesome. Um, so we got a Detroit versus OKC game coming up soon. Um, I'll give out something I really like for this one. How do I do this? Got to go banners, this, create a banner. Widely available at all books. This one. So it's Cade Cunningham under 26.5 points. It's a pretty easy one with the way OKC defend very hard on the pick and roll. He'll be in the torture chamber. Um, they don't have anyone out. So weird one here is his line's been like 26 and a half, 27 and a half, like most games. It doesn't make sense that it's like the same or a 1 point drop against OKC. So yeah, I've bet that one. Really like Cade under 26.5 points. What else do we have in this game? So no injury news for Detroit. Let me get their lineup up. I assume their lineup will be, yeah, so Cunningham, Hardaway, Asar, Harris, and Duran. That's pretty stock standard for Detroit. Um, OKC are running, I think Chet's out, isn't he? Hang on. Chet's out, I believe. Yes, Chet and Jalen are out. So they'll be running, let me get it. Where's their lineup? SJ, Wallace, Dort, Kenny Hustle, and iHeart. So yeah, should be good SGA spot as well to be pretty aggressive, but 35.5, that line is ridiculous. That is a ridiculously high line. Detroit, as of late, have been coming up at the ball handler as well. So it's not the perfect it's not like a perfect matchup for him. If anything, I'd actually lean under 35.5. Like I know it's SGA, but 35.5 points to reach that, you got to get to the line a lot. And you got to also be pretty efficient, which he does, but more times than not, he will have a average efficiency game in comparison to a super efficient game. But so yeah, 35.5 points. SJ Adelaide under there. What else do we have? Uh, Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, 10.5 seemed right with a start. Isaiah Joe's not starting, 10.5. That seems fine. No Jalen Williams either. Caruso 8.5 seems sort of high. Like when he goes over this line, I reckon. Hang on. So let's put. I don't know. He'll probably play like 24 minutes. So let's put like 20. Let's say 20 to 27 minutes, right? Which is what he'll get today. Let's say 22, just for the sake of it. If you go games where he's not efficient, say he doesn't shoot, say he shoots 60% or less, the line's pretty high. Um, I actually might bet this under. Does seem pretty high. I mean, he's a. We'll take a look. Just how I'm pretty sure Detroit will be pretty aggressive against SGA, which I don't like. Nikola Jokic, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Wait, wait, wait. I just already did it. Good stuff, mate. Hardenstein over 11.5 rebounds. Do like it. He'll get minutes with Chet out. You won't see like the 26-ish, 28 minutes he's been getting as of late. So yeah, definitely like it. Um, let's see here. Let's see. I heart game without Chet completely. That's points. I was gonna say. Yep, pretty good. I mean, he'll play between probably 20. This game probably should be competitive in Detroit. So let's say 28 to 34 minutes, 16-2-3. His permanent stuff, I assume, is pretty good. Um, yeah, I don't. So for this game, I really like Cade. Beasley over 13.5 points. Yeah, Dulane over 13.5. 13.5, you can still get that bet 365. Beasley, he's interesting because I mean, last couple of games his volume's been down. In this stretch here, I was. Oh wait, hang on. I just realized you can't see my screen. You can see the basketball monster thing. Hang on, let me get this up again. Uh, let me switch my screen. Stop screen. I wish there was a thing where I could just like switch over the screen I'm sharing, but there is not. Where is it? There you go. Props Madness. Shout out to Props Madness. Yeah, there was like a stretch here where he was going ballistic, but his efficiency was through the roof. Like it was always 55. That was a bad one, 38, but 60% from three, 57% from three, 67, 70. It's come back to earth as of late, which is expected. Like, um, he's not Steph Curry, but his numbers do resemble Steph Curry's this season. Like I saw some advanced number, something like that. Nikola Jokic, I'm on the K play too. Yeah, I think it's a good one. I don't understand. Like, if they've been hanging 26.5, 27.5 for him against, I don't know, the Wizards, why is it 26.5 against OKC? I guess you could make the argument that in this sort of game he'll get more minutes, which is true, but even that's a bit fluid to varying degrees, depending on how the game pans out. But yeah, I'm with you, mate. I reckon that line's just doesn't make sense. I think it should be 24.5. We know how they're going to defend him. He's going to have elite on ball pressure all game. Um, what I've noticed, Hardenstein doesn't always come up in the pick and roll, depending on the guy. I'm pretty confident he will here because Cade is pretty good in the mid range, good at getting downhill. So yeah, this does make sense as a spot where they're pretty aggressive against Cade. What I also like about this is when you fade these guys against OKC, like the pick and roll dominant guys, um, which Cade is, I think he'd be in like the what is he? Yeah, 35% of his points come from the pick and roll. Um, when you're fading these guys, you've always got on your side if they start well, like if they start the game well, then OKC will adjust out the game if they're not doing the come at level blitz, get the ball out of their hands sort of thing. But I'm pretty sure they'll do it from the start. Shea's line is 35.5. It is, which is actually really high. Um, I faded him against Boston and he went over and it was 33.5. I bet the under. He finished on 34. I watched that. I didn't watch that one. I watched like the end of the second quarter, most of the third quarter, end of the fourth quarter. Some of the shots he was hitting was ridiculous, and I don't think I've ever been more impressed by a guy going over that I bet under on than SJ in that game. It was super impressive. So yeah, 35.5. That is a high line, mate. Very high. It is SGA, and he's very good. I want to look what Detroit have been doing in terms of pull-ups and stuff like that. But let's say look at pull-ups. Let's say last 10 games. I've got a feeling. So they are allowing the yeah, they're like middle of the pack Yeah, they're literally middle of the pack. So I think it's matchup to matchup. No Jalen Williams. I mean, if you look at games without Chet and J Dub, I'm sure his usage would be pretty high. Uh, so that was so that was 27 points against the Nets. Uh, Important to note that game, one, they won by a shit ton of points. Two, the Nets are probably the most aggressive defense he'll see. They're super aggressive. Brooklyn. What else do we have? This one against the Bucks, he got like no free throws, played 22 minutes, scored 34 points in 22 minutes. That's absurd. But they're really soft coverages. And then Sacramento, they're pretty aggressive. So in 30 minutes, OKC won by a shit ton of points. So he only played 30, scored 29, 20 shots, 10 field goal attempts. Um, Interesting basketball monster projection having him at 38 points, which does make sense because his usage would be through the roof. Um, this would be a really good spot to back. If I was really confident or the coverages wouldn't be super aggressive, I'd love to bet he's over in this spot. But because I know 35 and a half, but when he'll be touching the ball every time without J and Chet, and when your usage is that high against soft coverages, and with a guy like SJ who you know is super efficient, it'll be good. JT Collector, I put in Hardenstein over 11 and a half revs plus Kate under 26 and a half. Sounds good, mate. I definitely lean over on Hardenstein as well. Uh, the show will be live for about 45 minutes, so if Cade's playing well, you can all flame me for it, which will be funny. Um, this probably be a good spot to if you wanted to fade some of these guys, the bench guys, in a spot that you project high minutes for the starters. Um, Dennis Schroeder, he's been playing well for well, not well. He's been doing his job, been steadying the offense for Detroit. I've noticed, but yeah, let's move on because that game. The only thing I really like, I'll put it up is. Hang on, how do I do this banner thing? I'm still getting used to hosting this show. It's usually Ty doing it, and I'm just, just chilling, just talking. But you got to do a lot of clicking and stuff when you're hosting this stuff. Okay, but let's keep going. What's going on, Sean? Plus Madness, awesome. Bulls, Houston. Let me show my other screen actually. Stop screen, present. Beautiful. Bulls, Houston. Let's go. Chicago's injury report. What do we have here? So Giddy's still out. I think I saw somewhere he's going to be back soon. Lonzo's out, and then you've got Vucevic back. Interesting last game. I think he played 23 minutes, but I think a lot of that was so yeah, 23 minutes. But I think he was actually able to play like 5 or 6 more minutes, but they just benched him for Collins down the stretch, and I think Collins was playing pretty well. So um, this isn't the spot I'd want to be backing Vucevic, to be honest. Just a neutral matchup, but don't project him for the 23 minutes because that's. I mean, he had 24 in his first game back coming off the bench in a blowout where he probably might have actually played some more. And last game he was tracking towards 28, 29, 30, but Collins was playing well. But what that does mean is you need to take into account that if Collins is playing well, they're not afraid to bench Vooch, which doesn't go for all guys that start, Like some guys just play no matter what. Yeah, that's a little nugget there. What else do we have? Kevin, this isn't a good spot for Herder at all. I'll have his points line at 12 and a half. Yeah, Sengun's playing. Yeah, he'll be in drop against Kobe White. I mean, his usage has been really high as of late. So this seems high, 23 and a half, 24 and a half. It's pretty much spot on. In terms of the volume he'll get. He'll be guarded by yeah, he'll be guarded by Brooks probably. So he'll have a really tough. Brooks has the size on him as well, so he'll have a tough one-on-one matchup there. You got Trey Jones playing really well, playing really big minutes as well. 12 and a half, that seems completely normal for him. I mean, that's spot on, in my opinion. He will get dropped though, so and do put him in a fair few pick and rolls. Uh, yeah, which just 9 points in 25 minutes against him, just 7 shots. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't profile to be a good spot for him. Buzelis, I think he got benched last game, didn't he? Or he was either in foul trouble or bench, one of the two. It might have been a mixture of both, but he's been a guy all season where like you just can't trust uh you just can't trust Booz Ellis's minutes. It's been a theme for the whole year. Uh, don't it probably should change. Like if you're a tanking team, I don't really see the point of capping you guys minutes when they make mistakes and that stuff because the Spurs were doing it to Castle a couple of weeks back and it just didn't make any sense. And now he's getting more run and I mean they're better for it. The only way you get better at anything in life is by doing it over and over again. So down the stretch, I think we'll see less of this sort of stuff. We'll see probably more 30s. But in terms of minutes, Pat Williams played last game. He played well, played 23 minutes. I don't know if there's anything about his minutes limit being lifted, but that is a high line for Pat Williams uh, in this matchup, especially. So I might have a bet on the under there. I just need to take a look, make sure that there's been no speak about his minutes increasing or him starting potentially. Maybe if he starts, so I'll wait for the lineups there. But if he's out, that's it. Sorry, if he's not starting, 14.5 power is way too high, especially against Houston. Let me take a look. No, I don't think there's anything about. Yeah, there's nothing about any of that. So I think we're in the clear there. Yeah, we are. We are in the clear there. Awesome. So that is something I really like. I'll put it up. Let me banner that thing. Uh, Starting. Fuck my spelling. Just complete dog shit. Pretty low. Add banner. Um, I haven't. I was looking at this one before a little bit, but I mean, he played 23 minutes last game in a game. It was 4-8. Played pretty well. Uh, put him at like games he plays 26 minutes. Let's say 18 to 26 minutes. 115 to 21. And he had this little stretch here where he's playing really well. If you do games, hang on, let me look at this. Actually, yeah, 14.5 is a bloody high line. And yeah, you know what? I might bet that right now. Actually, that line's too high, in my opinion. Let me bet it. I'm making it official. Oh, actually, do you know what? No, I'm not. I'm gonna wait for the lineups. I'm very confident that he won't um start because they'll do Kobe White, Herder, Jones, Buzelis, Vooch. So yeah, I'm pretty confident he won't start. And I mean, if you look at last game, he played 23 minutes, and that was a game where Buzelis's minutes were like drastically cut down. So if Buzelis isn't playing like complete dog shit, there's actually a path to him playing even fewer minutes. So yeah, that line's definitely a bit high. Uh I'm just gonna search up on Twitter, make sure there's nothing about it. But yeah, so he's a let me take a look. No, I probably have him at like 22 minutes here. Yeah, so he's a 12.7 PRA guy per 22 minutes, and this is a really tough spot for him. I'm doing a little bit more. I'm gonna look into this a touch more because it does seem quite high. Let's see what the comments say. Anything on Grizzlies game with Jaria? I'll get to that one in a minute. I'm just gonna go through this Patrick Williams stuff here. Search up Patrick Williams on Twitter and account with like the Saudi Pro Soccer League. Fuck. Do you know what? I'm actually very confident he won't start. It'll be if he does, I'm happy to bite the bullet because his use should be really low, and I don't think they're going to rush him back playing big minutes. So you know what? I'm going to banner that. Patrick Williams under. I'm also going to post to my. So that'll be an official bet for me. Patrick Williams under 14.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. Bear with me here. This is where it'd be good to have Ty because he'd just be talking shit or something while I'm doing this, but he's not here to do that. So which is a shame. Let me have this. Let's see. Patrick Williams, where's the best at? Best of bet 365. Also playable at Caesars. Uh, yeah, that line is high in a tough spot. So yeah, Patrick Williams really like that. So that's what I like from that game. I might have something else closer to tip, maybe not. But yeah, that line's pretty bloody high. Line is pretty high. All right, let's see what else we have. Preview. There we go. That is out. Okay. Nikola Jokic, I like the under, but it doesn't make sense to not prioritize Mattis here. Yeah, that's true. But also, not only that, last game they didn't prioritize Mattis, and he still only plays 23 minutes, and he's a like 12.7 PRA per 22-minute guy, and this is a tough spot. So, but yeah, that's a great point. Where he also played well last game. Mattis was in. I'm pretty confident. I remember watching last game, and Mattis was in foul trouble. I'll actually look at it now, but yeah, it just doesn't make well, going down the season just makes no sense as an organization. Also, this will be a spot where Houston are playing drop. They're staying home on shooters. There'll be a lot of Trey Jones, Kobe White, pick and roll stuff with Vooch. I think Patrick Williams will get too many touches. I'm looking here. Yeah, so Buzelis played the first quarter, got two fouls. Yeah, so he had two fouls in the first quarter, left after 6 minutes. Foul after 1 minute in the third quarter, left after a minute, which actually put Patrick Williams in the game straight away again for another 2 minutes. Uh, yeah, it's interesting because Herder will play big minutes. Vucevic, Collins will split those. Kobe White's going to play big minutes. Trey Jones going to play big minutes. Julian Phillips also played a lot last game, which is interesting. Uh, and we got zero fourth quarter Mattis Buzelis minutes, which is interesting and probably something they just shouldn't be doing that going forward. If you can't win, just doesn't make sense. So yeah, Patrick, I'm actually going to edit this. I'm going to edit this and just say get rid of if blah 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 all that stuff and just go a banner. Patrick Williams. Beautiful. Show that. Beautiful. All right. Houston side of things. Sorry, it took a while there. Houston side of things. What do we have? Um, obviously Armin's still out. Tari's still out. Oh, sorry, Tari out. Yeah, so that means that we LP Fred, uh, Jabari. Yeah, they've readjusted it accordingly. His line. LP. This should theoretically be a good LP spot. Also, big blowout chance here. Well, that's something I didn't take into account. Yeah, if it's a blowout, actually no, probably not. I'm gonna say Horton Tucker probably no. Williams get some blowout mins, but you just never know. But no, that actually is something I didn't take into account. But I mean, you can't really predict blowouts. Uh, I think all Houston stuff looks pretty normal. I mean, this is a good spot for Sengun. They've boosted his line a couple points. Jabari will get more minutes. They've put his PRA all stuff up like that. Uh, Fred, he's been pants. Just doesn't seem like a game where Fred will get high volume um, at all. Picks for the people. Shoto, hey mate, yo Liam, how are you, mate? Hope you're going well. Let's take a look. What else do we have here? Yeah, don't really like anything. Yeah, so the only thing I like from this game is Patrick Williams under 14.5 PRA, to be honest, right now. Yeah, we got a couple more 11 o'clock games. Let's take a look at this. Next up, we got Cade's about to start. So if he starts playing well, people can just start shitting on me. So no Jar against Miami. Oh, this is an interesting spot. Let's take a look here. So let's go to, is it Memphis is home? Yeah, we'll go to Memphis. The Memphis Grizzlies. So no Jar, no Vince, no Santi, and no Zion Pullen. That one's massive. I'm just joking. Obviously. Okay, so we don't have lineups out yet, but I assume it'll be. Hang on a second. Yeah, I assume it'll be Edie, Jaren, Dez, Pippen. So sorry. Wells, Edie, Jaron, Bain, and then it'll either be Pippin, Kennard, one of the two. Probably Kennard, you would have thought. Cheers. Thank you. Yummy. So yeah. What do I like here initially? Miami, it's a tough defensive spot. They'll junk it up a bit. Um, Off the bat, I like Luke Kennard stuff off the bat. They don't have his stuff available, so I can't give that out. It's only on BetMGM. But it makes sense for Kennard to get like 28-ish minutes. You look at his last couple of games without Jar. Yeah, he's at like 24. So let's go like 20. Let's say like 24 to 25 to 30. Yeah, that looks good. So if they give him a 10.5 point line, that's very low. I'll be playing that as well against Miami for sure. So um, I think this is a good Wells minute spot. Sure. Yeah, should be like a 30-ish minute spot for Wells. Couple low minute games as of late. I don't know if this is going to be his line everywhere. I need to check Bet365, make sure it's not already out and price minus is low, but that's really low. So if you can bet that at BetMGM, I'd bet that right now. That's a silly line. Kennard 10.5 points. Yeah, they don't have it. Yeah, it's not on 365. Okay. So when that comes out, that'll be something I look at for sure. What the fuck. Oh, I was like, why is it on Cameron Johnson? Um, 80. Well, what are Miami doing? All right, let me look at Miami. 80's an interesting one. He's good to bet against shit teams where he can stay on the floor and he's 7'4". So Jovic still out. Yeah, they got everyone playing that played yesterday. Terry Rozier out of the rotation is pretty funny. Um, what lines do we have here? Wiggins 20.5. This seems. I mean, he's getting good touch. Like they run a fair bit of stuff for him. I was noticed yesterday he got a couple pick and rolls. So yeah, 20.5. That honestly seems okay. Hero, that seems fine. 22.5 normal. Bam, I bet him yesterday. Made the mistake of betting Bam yesterday. Um, I don't know. He's probably shouldn't give him out to my group because I mean he gets the same looks all the time. Like he was getting defended in single coverage. They weren't doubling in the post. He just didn't try to score, which I mean I was sort of banking on this game here against the Clippers being a throwout, and because like he's been looking to score as of late, like he's been really aggressive, and I sort of thought this would be like a spot where it's much more aggressive. Bam, it just wasn't the case. Um, and I know Wiggins didn't play in all these games, but he played in a fair few of them, especially in this stretch here. So I just realized you guys can't see my screen. I keep going to props madness. Um, and thinking you can see my screen, but you can't. So I've been saying like you look at these games and fuck, that's my bad. Um, K turnover to start the game. It's a sign we will hit. You beauty. That is a good sign. Nikola Jokic, yeah, I'm waiting for Canal stuff too. Even if he doesn't start, I think he'll get more wins than Pippen Jr. probably. I mean, if it's 10.5 on BetMGM, and I assume it should. It's not even on BetMGM now. So since I said it, it's actually disappeared. I doubt that opens 10.5 on normal books. That'll probably be like 12.5, which is fair. And if it's 12.5, I might. I don't know. I might not bet it. I'll see. Um, Ware played 15 minutes yesterday. Um, he's interesting because he was playing really well for like a stretch. I feel like it was in Jan. He was playing really well, and then yeah, as of late, he just hasn't been playing much. I guess this is a spot where they can combat Memphis' size and he can play some more minutes. But I actually don't like it as a PR permanent spot for him. But you think about it, like 11.5 is pretty low when you consider he's been playing like 15, 18 minutes in really low min spots recently. And this is a spot where I actually do see a path to him getting more minutes by just if they want to like match the Edie Jackson big minutes with Ware and Bam. I could see that happening. But yeah, I'm just not convinced. But definitely lean like Kalal Ware over 11.5 PR. no PRA, but I do lean that being a spot he could get some minutes. What do we have here? Giannis. Might bet Giannis is unders today. They guard him really aggressively, and they'll do it again here. They pretty much build a wall around Giannis. Bobby Porter. So yeah, so Milwaukee, it's just Bobby Porter. Yeah, I was gonna say Bobby Porter's. That's not his name. Well, just opened at 9.5 on 365. That's a good line. I definitely lean over on Wellesley. Um, yeah, Giannis is the high line. 31.5 is really high. Uh, that is too high. Especially with the way they guard him. I mean, he just scored 19 points against them. They built a wall, and it's funny because there was a narrative last couple of seasons, which was true, that he used to just go ballistic against the Pacers, and it's because they don't really have any wings that can guard him, and they weren't building any wall, so he just walk into the paint every time. And it's Giannis. He just, if you let him in the paint, it's over. So they've started building a wall, and I reckon it'll be pretty sticky here. Like they lost by 1 point here, building a wall against him. Um, uh, they in 2 games where I didn't actually watch these games. I watched this one, and I know they built a wall this one. I don't remember these, so I can't say what happened there. But I mean, the Pacers won this one, and they lost the previous two where he played well. It just makes sense to have the same scheme going forward. So obviously that does open up things for other guys. Like Lopez played really well in this spot. 13.5. That seems like they've adjusted sort of. Uh, Kuzma was pants as per. Torian Prince was really good in this spot. It makes sense with Giannis. I bet he's over 8.5 points last game. I might bet it again because of I'm confident that he'll get a heap of looks. It just makes sense. Yeah, so I'd be looking if you're looking to attack this game, it'd be a combination of Giannis unders, shooters, getting looks sort of thing. Because Indiana, I'm pretty confident they'll build a wall. Um, so yeah, like that in that game. Let's take a look at the Pacers. What are we looking like for injuries with the Pacers here? Indiana. We have Johnny Furphy's out. Johnny Tins, the Aussie. Only Aussies would know why his name's Johnny Tins, and maybe some might not even know, but that's his nickname, Johnny Tins. Um, we then have no one injured. Nice. So, uh, Siakam, last game against him, very efficient game. Halliburton was poor against him. No, hang on. This was the game. Yeah, this was the game that Halliburton hit the and 1 3. That's right. And he still only scored 14 points. I need to go look how they guarded him, to be honest. I didn't take much notice. Uh, Theoretically, is a good Miles Turner spot. I mean, yeah, he shot 1 of 8 from three with Lopez and drop. What's his threes? 1.5. So the bookies know what they're doing. The bookies know what they're doing. Um, but yeah, 15.5, honestly, that seems sort of low. But I remember in that game, his minutes, they weren't 28 because of foul trouble. They were 28 because he starts the game, obviously, comes off after like 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Then he goes back on end of the last quarter and early stint in the second quarter. And in that game, they didn't do that. They just played Thomas Bryant minutes, which was interesting. And that's why he played 28 minutes. That would have been 34, 33, 34, if not the case. But that's the way they decided to play it. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a good TJ McConnell spot, to be honest. I feel like I reckon there was a game last season he killed the Bucks. Yeah, it was this game. He killed him. Oh wait, no, that's in the playoffs. It wasn't that game. It would have been in this game. And I reckon almost all these points came in the last quarter. I remember they closed with him and he went ballistic against the Bucks, just midi after midi. But no, this theoretically is a good TJ McConnell spot. Oh, once again, hang on. I just realized once again I was talking about props madness um, stuff and saying like, yeah, this was a good game, and I don't have an open. Need to get better at this hosting stuff. I'm on Prince 11.5 PA. Really like it. He'll get great looks for the Giannis. His minutes have also been pretty safe recently, and I also think he's a good. He's pretty. I assume that's who was guarding Halliburton. I'd assume. So it's definitely a good spot. Uh, you think Castle PRA too high? I'll get to that. Let's actually get onto that game now. Um, I've tried to go through today's games quicker than yesterday, which is good. Yeah, we have 3 games left. Perfect. Um, let's look. San Antonio Spurs. So we have same team as yesterday. Chris Paul's minutes are dropping rapidly, and the books have adjusted to it. Yeah. Who asked that? Castle? You think Castle PRA is too high? His usage is going to be through the roof. I mean, he played really well yesterday in lower minutes. It was Charlotte. I feel like him and Vassell just dominate touches. Yeah, almost 30% usage rate. Um, PRA 30.5. It seems high. Hang on. Let me share my screen and show you why it does seem high, but I don't think it is. I'll show you. So it seems high because his numbers for the whole season haven't been anything like that. But you then have to take into account that he's in a role now that's completely different. So let's go. Okay, so he played 29 minutes yesterday in a game where the Spurs got hammered and they pulled the plug on starters with like 6 minutes to go. So let's say he plays 30 plus minutes, right? And then his usage is going to be through the roof. So we start putting that up, okay? And straight away, you go 21% or higher, and he's over this line in 7 to 15 games. You go 25% or higher, and he's over in 4 or 7 games. It's probably going to be somewhere between like 28 and 33 or so. And then once you do that, it doesn't seem high. And that's so I'd actually lean over on his PRA. You can actually get a 29.5. So you can get it there. That's even better. Um, so I'd probably lean over on that one, Shoto. Uh, it does, but I get why you'd think it seems high because you look at his stats for the season and think, fuck, that's just a stupid line. But you need to put into context what his role in this game, the minutes we'll get in this game, the touches, the usage, all that sort of stuff. And um, once you do that, it doesn't seem high. It actually seems maybe a tad low. Let's see what else we have for my Spurs. Keldon Johnson, he played well. No, he didn't play. He played well the game before. That's right. 15.5. That does seem a little bit high, honestly. Um, is Zion playing? No, he's not playing. I was gonna say this seemed like a really good Zion spot. Um, yeah, lean under on Keldon stuff. 15.5 seems a touch high. Uh, his minutes also aren't guaranteed. Like I know no Fox Wemby, but we still have Barnes, still have Champagny, still have Sohan. Sohan's an interesting one, actually. He played 16 minutes last night, which just doesn't make sense. There's no reason he shouldn't be playing 26 minutes a game, to be honest. And if he's playing 26 minutes a game, that's too low, 8.5 PRA. Uh, we might see a little spike up in that today, but yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Like Sohan should be playing way more minutes. Uh, I don't get why he's not. I would lean over on that. I think there might be a little correction from 16 minutes against Hornets in a game where statistically he played really well. So yeah, like Sohan spot here. Chris Paul, I feel like they've adjusted accordingly. PRA, I mean, let's go games he plays 26 minutes or less. Sounds about right. Uh, I'd love if it was like 19 and a half or so. Probably was that, probably moved down. You can still get 8.5, 365, but it's minus 130. Um, Mamukhalishvili, those 17 minutes are sort of fake because I think he closed in the last 6 or 7 minutes. So, um, yeah, those 17 minutes are a bit fake. Like it wasn't a real 17 minutes. It was more like a 10 minutes, 12 minutes. And I actually think that could be lower with Sohan playing more backup five. Blake Wesley. I did not think we'd be seeing Blake Wesley lines this early. Um, Blake Wesley lines seem a bit high. No, actually, with Fox out, he'll get more minutes. Bismarck, Biombo. That seems fine. All right, let's look at Trey Murphy because this does seem like a good Trey Murphy game. Says I'm out, is he? Yeah. And Missy's out. Actually, this does seem like This does seem a bit low for Murphy. I might look more into this. Um, you have to get rid of everyone. No DJ, no Zion, no Ingram. But with CJ, he's only had two games like this. One was a terrible shooting game against Sacramento. The other was a game against the Pacers. I think 22.5 is too low. What I noticed last game is in a blowout, he still played 34 minutes. 30, so his minutes are pretty safe. They're pretty depleted as well. So yeah, I definitely lean overs on Trey Murphy there. What else do we have here? You got CJ 21.5. That seems fine. Jordan Hawkins, it seems like a good Jordan Hawkins spot. Um, there was a game recently where he started and played like 6 minutes in the second half. But oh yeah, his power is low. Like if he, I don't know, I'd have him like 26 to 32 minutes. And if you look at it like that, it's a terrible line, which I think it is a bad line to be honest. So definitely an over on Jordan Hawkins stuff. Here, I just need to look into it a little bit more, but I'd have him, not 33, I'd have him 20, let's say 24 to 30. Even that is low. And this is a really good spot for him. I mean, San Antonio suck on the defensive end. So yeah, this does seem like a good spot for Hawk. Um, so yeah, I do like that, those two things from that game. Let's go on to the Golden State Warriors versus the New York Knicks. Hang on, Nikola Jokic. Good game, by the way. Guess so, Nicola. You saved your boys from an embarrassing loss. How do I feel about Makovic? He'll start. What's his line, actually? Good point. Does he have lines? I don't see him here. Maybe they're on Bet365 only. Um, let's take a little look. See, where is it? Spurs, Pelicans. He does have lines. What are they? 10.5. Seems actually, yeah, probably put it 11.5, 12.5. So that does seem a bit low. Um, the stream will also be finishing 10 minutes early today because um, I need to take me missus to get a haircut or something like that. So we have a couple more minutes. If anyone has any questions, get them in for the slate today, and I'll try give some insight and answer them as best as I can. So that's the last bet I did. Patrick Williams. So the two I've given out. Let's look. How's Cade going? What? Um, I'll open up live on stream and he's on like 20 points. Fuck. He's got 7 points in 8 minutes. That's efficient. 60% from the field. So had a bet on this game. How are these guys going? Not doing much. And Williams, beautiful. Comments. Cat over 24.5 points? Question mark. I don't like it because it is low without Brunson. They'll guard him with Draymond and they'll make it really tough on him, I think. Yeah. He's not good when he's guarded by a smaller guy. They'll put Post on Ananobi or something or Hart. They'll put Quinn and Post on Hart and they'll guard him with Draymond, and it means that he can't. So Cat's biggest strength, what he's so good at, and what makes him so good is when you give him the ball on the perimeter, he beats the big downhill. But when you have like a Draymond Green, he can't do that. So I wouldn't lean under. I mean, this is a low line without Brunson, but I just think it's a bad spot for him because I think Draymond's a great matchup for him. Uh, yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. Straight off the bat, Mikal Bridges. I mean, this line is low without Brunson, but we saw him the other day. He barely got any looks. But they should be running more stuff through him, to be honest, today. So 7.5, that is pretty low. So I do probably lean over on that. Wizards Nuggets. This just doesn't seem like a spot where Jokic tries, which isn't good reasoning analysis, but 29.5 does seem high. Nikola Jokic, tell us, comment if you're going to try today or not, because if you don't try, that's a very good under bet. I think he played really well. Yeah. So the 56, this was when they were absolutely depleted and they were losing and they had, yeah, so they had no Murray, no Gordon, um, and they were playing really shit and it was a back to back. And he had like 56 against the Wizards, and then he took 39 shots. And then he also had 1,000,000 points against the Hawks. Um, Final one, Jokic 29.5 points. I'd lean under, if anything, to be honest, on that one. Prathan Kana. He's trying. All right. If he's trying, then betting Jokic, any unders on Jokic, anything against the Wizard is suicide. Prathan Kana. SAR threes. I'm not a 3-point market better, really, but he's been taking some game. I mean, it makes sense. Won't come out, allow him to shoot. Yeah, I like it. I mean, definitely lean over. But I'm not good with threes, so put a bit of a caveat on that one there. Miles McBride threes, Pruff and Cunner. Let's take a look. Miles McBride threes. 2.5. Yeah, I mean, Warriors switch everything. Sometimes aggressive. Depends how many attempts you're projecting him for. I mean, if you're projecting for like 8 attempts, then this is a really good price. So it just depends on your own projections for him. Josh Hart assist under. Honestly, yeah, they switch. Mm, Bit of a tough one. He's going to get a lot of the ball though, because they're going to guard him with post. So, uh, and then by having a lot of the ball, it creates assist chances. So, I actually wouldn't lean under on this to be honest, because I think he's just going to get a heap of touches being guarded by post. What's your fave bet off the stream? Probably Pat Williams under 14.5 PRA. I also had Kate under 26.5 points, but that's already started. But there's a lot of other stuff I like. I like Luke Kennard stuff. I like Trey Murphy stuff. I like Jordan Hawkins stuff. Um, but yeah, Patrick Williams is my favorite off the stream for sure. What else do we have here? Is that it? Cat rebounds. I'm not good at betting rebounds, and I don't even do it. But the only time I see value is if I think they've completely got the per min stuff off kilter. So like, I don't know, I don't know. What's an example? Say John Conchar I had him projected for like 30 minutes, and they projected his rebounds at like 22 minutes. That's when I'd bet it, but you don't really see much stuff like that. And usually whenever I do that, I bet RA instead. So do you prefer Patrick Williams under? I do to Mattis Buzelis, and the reason I do is I think last game when he played low minutes, I don't think that's a repeatable thing because I think that's a bit of he's playing shit and he was in foul trouble. Um, so yeah, I much prefer Patrick Williams unders. Jokic no triple double minus 150. Unfortunately, JT Collector Nikola Jokic is in the stream and confirmed he's trying, and if he's trying, he could get a triple double against the Wizards with two toes missing and an arm missing, and one of his eyes closed properly. So, yeah, I wouldn't bet that, especially at minus 150 if he's trying. Anyways, that's going to wrap up the show. Cheers to everyone getting on. Fair few people on today, actually. Awesome stuff. Best of luck with your day or your bets. Hope you're all going well in your personal life and all that sort of stuff. And I'll be back next Friday for American, Saturday for Aussies, or depending where you are in the world. Yes, I'll be back then to go through the slate. I much prefer doing this when you can react to the injury news, and I have confidence in who's playing and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, best of luck to everyone, and hope you all have a good day.